Hello student, I request you to write this heading soil resources. Okay, we have studied about the land, now we will study about the soil resources, and it is also one of the most important natural resources. Okay, so first point of soil resources that it is the top covering, it is the top covering, it is the top covering of the earth's surface, of the earth's surface. What does that really mean? The topmost, suppose this is our earth's surface and the topmost part of the earth's surface is soil. So we can say that soil is the top covering of the earth surface. Clear? Now point number 2, how soil is formed. So we can say that soil is formed due to, right, wear and tear of rocks. What does that means? Wear and tears, it means breakdown, it means break down. Suppose this is a big rock and this rock break down into different small pieces, and then those small pieces will be break down into the soil, very tiny particles known as soil. Okay, clear? Now understand that this breakdown or this wear and tear can be done by two ways, one is natural and the other is human made force. Clear? Natural how? Suppose this is a rock, particle, and rain is coming, rain is hitting that rock very forcefully and it is continuously hitting from last 15 years, 20 years or say 50 years. So with the pressure of that tiny particles of water, that will weaken this rock and it will break down into small pieces, and then again it will break down into very tiny particles, it will become soil. Clear? So till now we have seen two important points regarding the soil. Number one, that it is the top covering of the earth's surface, and how soil is formed. Soil is formed by the wear and tear of the rock. This wear and tear of the rock can be in two ways, one is the natural and the other one is human made force. Clear? Human made force, we can say that we have used a machine, okay, and in that machine we crushed a big particle of the rock, that it will become a soil, a very small particle. Clear? In the third point we will study about the humus. What is humus? I will give you a small example, then you will easily understand that what is humus. Say this is our top layer soil and this is one plant, okay. We see that leaves fallen around the tree, okay, and as well as there are few animals dead, decay part which is mixed into the soil. Then what will happen in the soil? There are microorganisms, what the microorganism will do, they will decompose this dead part. The dead part can be of plant, dead part can be of animal, and the moment they will decompose this dead remains of animal and plant, it will become the humus, and what will make it? It will make the soil fertile, Clear? And that part is called humus. Humus is called the decomposed part of that dead remains, Clear? The more humus in the soil, the more soil will be fertile, and if the soil is more fertile, it will give you the good crop production. Clear? Point number 4, soil formation is a slow process. Soil formation is a slow process. Soil formation is a slow process and it can take thousands of years to form the soil. Means if this is a rock and you want to convert that rock into the soil, means that teeny particles, it will take thousands of years by natural way. What are the natural ways? Whether it's wind, whether it's water, or whether the climate change. Clear? If this is the topmost layer, so we used to say that till 1 to 3 meter, 1 to 3 meters we can find soil, means if we will dig 2 meters down the earth, we still find the soil. If we will dig 3 meters down the earth, what we will find? We will find rocks. There will be rocks. Clear? Again I am giving an example. Suppose this is the soil layer and this is the next layer. In between there is a soil, and below soil what you will find? You will find the rocks. You will find rocks. Clear? So plant need this soil to grow, because plant have nothing to do with the rocks. So if the soil is more fertile, it will give you more and more production, and soil must have good mix of minerals and organic matter. These two are the important component of the soil. If the soil is lacking minerals, your production will not be as you are expected, and if there is a lack of organic matter, your production will not grow. Clear? Point number 5 is self-explanatory. It says that quality of soil varies from place to place. Suppose this is Surat and this is Haryana, this is West Bengal. So can you say the quality of soil will be same in all three places? No sir, the quality of soil will differ from place to place. So write down the quality of soil varies from place to place. The quality of soil varies from place to place, and not only quality, even their color will also vary. Their texture will also vary, as well as their fertility will also vary from place to place. We can say that in Haryana and Punjab you will find a very fertile soil, but in some other places you won't find such fertile soil. Say in desert, there is not even a 0% of fertility. So we can say that the quality of soil, the color of soil, the texture of soil and the fertility of soil varies from place to place. Clear? Now I will give you a small example to make you understand this concept. Suppose father is black and the mother is black. There is high chances that the son is also black, means the son have the features and characteristics of their parents. Similarly soil is made up of rocks. So means soil is a son and rock is a parent. So soil will have the characteristic feature same as the rock. So means soil is getting their texture, their color, their minerals from that rock. If the rock have reddish color, then the soil will have reddish color. If this rock have sodium as a mineral, then the soil will also have sodium as a mineral. Hope you are getting my point, that the soil is getting its characteristic from the parent rock material. Clear? So point number 6, I am just giving you the heading because I have given you a brief detail about it. Parent rock material. Write down parent rock material. Parent rock material. Point number 7 is relief. I have already explained you in detail that what is relief. It is basically the slope, or we can say that the height of the mountain. So if I say there is a soil on the mountain, and there is rain coming. So what will happen? It will take the soil along with it. It will take the soil along with it. So we can say that in this region, there is a very less amount of soil. Why? Because the soil is taken away by the water, So here is very thin layer of soil. But when I compare it with a plane, say this is the thickness of the soil, but if the rain water will come, what will happen? It will not take the soil away, but it will give the moisture to the soil, as well as this water is absorbed by the soil. This water will move down to the earth. Clear? Climate condition is one of the most important factor when we are considering the soil formation, because climate impact the soil formation in both direct and indirect way. Direct in the sense, when the rain is coming and it is hitting the rock, it is forcing the rock to become a small particles, though it will take thousands of years, but it is directly influencing the rock to become a soil. But in indirect way, I must explain you this. This is a rock and there is one, like we can say there are kind of, there is a breach in between the rock, means some gap between the rock. So what will happen? Suppose rainy season is coming and the water used to fill in between that breach. Okay, so what will happen here? Water filled, and when it comes to the winter, what will happen? This water used to become ice, and we know that when water is converted to ice, it tends to expand. And when water becomes ice and ice trying to expand, it break down the rock. So weather is affecting directly as well as indirectly, and not only the formation of soil but also the formation of humus. I have already discussed, the decomposition of dead remains of animal and plant. Clear? Point number 9 is very important. It says that humus gives a dark brown color to the soil. What will be humus doing? It is making the color of soil to dark brown. Clear? Point number 10, soil is said to be mature. Soil is said to be mature when it is fertile. And when it will fertile? When it will have humus. Though it will take time, sufficient amount of time is needed, as well as the soil will have a distinct profile. We call it as soil profile. I will make you understand that what is soil profile, but for the time being, understand that soil is also having its own profile. Clear? Next, point number 10 includes, write down, soil develops more quickly in humid region than in dry region. What does this mean? First of all, understand the humid region and dry region. Humid region state that the area where air have moisture, and the dry region is the area which don't have moisture, means the air is not containing moisture. Clear? So the area which have good amount of moisture, their soil develops more quickly as compared to the dry region. It is not saying that in dry region soil will not develop. It will develop, but it will take sufficient amount of time, and it will take more time as compared to the area which have humid region. Clear? Let's move to point number 11. In point number 11, we will discuss in detail about the soil profile. So, let's write down what is soil profile. A vertical section, a vertical section of soil, a vertical section of soil from the surface to the parent rock, from the surface to the parent rock, from the surface to the parent rock is the soil profile, is the soil profile. Now we will understand each and every word, then we will create the understanding of the word soil profile. Vertical section, verticals means in this way. Okay. So vertical section is saying that when we are looking the soil from top to bottom, from top to bottom, what is there at the top? At the top there is a fertile soil. Clear? And what is at the bottom? At the bottom there is a parent rock, and in between there is soil, in between there is soil. I have explained you before that topmost layer is the soil, then till 3 meter we used to find soil, and below 3 meter there is rocks. Clear? So when we will be going vertically, we are making it into different layers, we are making it into different horizons. Clear? So when we are dividing the soil profile into a horizontal layers, see, this is the vertical. When we are going from top to bottom, this is vertical, and when we are making the layers in the soil horizontally, this is horizontally. So we are divided into soil horizons. We are dividing the soil into soil horizons. Clear? So write down the process of soil formation, the process of soil formation, the process of soil formation gives rise to the well marked, gives rise to the well marked, give rise to the well marked horizontal layers, in the soil profile, in the soil profile. See what we are doing? We are marking the horizontal layers in the soil profile. This is the complete soil profile, and we are making the horizontal layers. We are marking the horizontal layers. So this is known as the soil horizon. ठीक? Soil horizon are basically categorized as A, B, C and D. A, B, C and D. This is the uppermost layer, and this is the layer below the parent rock. Clear? First of all, we will understand the horizon A. This is the horizon A, and this is the topmost layer of the soil which is visible to us, which we used to see from our eyes. Clear? It contains minerals, and organic matter. What is this organic matter? This is nothing but humus. This is nothing but humus. Clear? And humus is formed from decayed plant and animal. These two are required for the growth of plant. These two are required for the growth of plant. Clear? But it has one small problem which is known as the leaching of soil. I will write it down for you. It is leaching of soil. What does this really mean? This means that this is the top layer, this is the top layer of the soil, and because of water and flood, water collected over there, and if some minerals which are water soluble, means the minerals which can dissolve in water, these minerals from the soil dissolve in water, and then when we drain this water, the minerals from the soil also go along with the water. So this is the small basic problem with the soil, top soil. Clear? So horizon A is also known as the top soil. Horizon A is also known as the top soil. Now let come to B. This is known as subsoil. This is known as subsoil. In subsoil or horizon B, we used to find sand, clay, and one more important thing, my dear students, subsoil contain more minerals as compared to the topsoil. Subsoil contain more minerals as compared to the topsoil. So remember, this can be a good question for the exam. Which contain more minerals, subsoil or topsoil? The answer is subsoil. Clear? Which layer contains sand and clay, subsoil or horizon B? Clear? See, again I am giving you in detail. Topsoil has more humus. Topsoil has more humus and subsoil has more minerals. Don't confuse yourself with this. If you want, I will write it down. Topsoil, it contains both mineral and humus, but the quantity of humus is high as compared to subsoil. Okay, here I will write subsoil. It also contains minerals as well as humus, but quantity of minerals is high as compared to the minerals in topsoil. Hopefully now you are clear. When we will combine topsoil and subsoil, we call it as true soil. What we call it as? We call it as true soil. When we combine topsoil and subsoil, it will become true soil. Clear? Now this part is C. This part is C. Horizon C is known as rock fragments. This part is C, known as rock fragments, and this part is D. Clear? This true soil is made up of this rock fragments. Clear? The true soil, write down, the true soil develops from these rock materials, the true soil develops means जो true soil है, it developed from this rock material. Clear? And this rock material are not affected by biological process. Clear? This include the change in weather or the rain or any impact on the rock soil. Clear? So C is the rock fragments and D is the parent rock. Clear? D is the parent rock. This is unbroken solid rock material. This is unbroken solid rock material. Clear? We cannot break this parent rock. Now we will be coming up with the topic, that is types of soil. Now the question arises, on what basis we divide the soil? So we divide the soil on the basis of fertility. You can say that whether the soil is fertile, whether the soil is fertile or sterile. Clear? So alluvial soil, this is one of the most fertile soil, and you will find alluvial soil in most part of the India and mainly in the plains of northern India, mainly in the plains of India. Clear? So where we will find this soil? We will find it in the plains of northern India. Clear? And how this soil is formed? This is soil is formed due to the decomposition of sediments by the river. Means what will happen? This is a piece of rock and river water is hitting this piece of rock and breaking it down into small pieces, and this is very fertile soil and it support agriculture. Clear? Next we will study about the black soil, and it is also known as the black lava soil. Why it is called black lava soil? Because it is formed due to the weathering of volcano rocks. Means when volcano rocks will become soil, it will become a black soil or black lava soil, and it is made up of the fine clay material. It is made up of the fine clay material and it can hold moisture. Moisture means water. So clay can hold lots of water or moisture. And where you will find this kind of soil? You will find this kind of soil in Deccan Trap region, or we call it locally as rigor. We call it locally as rigor. I will write it for you. Clear? So black soil is formed from the weathering of volcanic rocks. It can hold lots of moisture and it is best suited for cotton, and sugarcane. Clear? Point number 3 is red soil. Write down red soil. And why we call it as red? Because the color of the soil is also red. Now you will ask, sir, where the soil get this red color? So I will answer you that this soil contain high iron content, because of which the soil color is red, and this soil is found in the peninsular India. This soil is found in the peninsular India, and this is not fertile, but when we will add manure and chemical fertilizers to this soil will become fertile. Means after adding manure and fertilizer, it will become fertile. Clear? Our next soil is laterite soil. What is this soil? Suppose this land has a very fertile soil, but this land having very heavy rainfall. So because of that, the fertile layer of the soil washes away. So what you will find below that? That layer is very less fertile. So laterite soil is found in the region where we will find heavy rainfall. Where you will find heavy rainfall, you will find laterite soil, and this is very less fertile. Why? Because the top fertile layer is washed away because of the rainfall. Clear? Soil number 5 is mountain soil. So it is very clear that you will find this kind of soil only on mountains. This soil is very rich in humus. Why? Because it contains lots of forest, and in the forest you will find that lots of dead and decay of the plant and animal will be decomposed on the surface of the soil. So this soil is very fertile and it is suitable for growing tea, coffee and spices. We know that tea and coffee usually grow in Darjeeling and it is a hill station. Clear? Point number 6 and the last type of soil is desert soil. Okay. Most important thing to know about desert soil is that it is found in the hot region. Note it down. Hot region. Another point is it lacks humus. It don't have humus. That desert soil, sir, desert soil does not have humus, but it contains something very important, that is soluble salt. Soluble salt. So desert soil is found in hot region. So desert soil does not contain humus, but desert soil have the high proportion of soluble salt. By adding good amount of water, we can grow wide varieties of crops in the desert soil. Clear? So we have completed different types of soils. Now some small topics such as soil erosion. Soil erosion. This is a very important topic, and due to deforestation we are facing the issue of soil erosion. Soil erosion says that the fertility of the soil is destroying. Means the top soil which is the most fertile, that is washed away, due to many reasons. There can be the many reasons that we are losing this fertile topsoil, and the reason can be physical as well as it can be cultural factors. So there are two factors, one is physical factor and the other one is cultural factor. What do you mean by the physical factor? Physical factor is that the slope of the land. So what will happen? Here the topsoil will move down. This is the one factor. Second, heavy rainfall, or third, high velocity of wind. We can say that the high speed of wind. So this is the soil and it has a good fertile soil layer, but a good wave of wind is coming. So what will happen? It will take the soil along with it. So this area will have infertile soil. So these are the physical factors which are affecting the quality of the topsoil. What are the cultural factors? These are basically man-made, and it is deforestation. When you are cutting the plants, when you are cutting the trees, you are making the soil erosion, you are making the soil infertile. Clear? Or overutilization of the land means this land you can grow only twice in a year, but you are growing crops 4 times in a year. What will happen? It will take all the resources from the land. So when next year you want to grow a plant, it will not grow. Why? Because the land don't have the sufficient minerals which is required to grow the plant next year. So overutilization of the plant is also the important key. Overgrazing is also the factor. Suppose cow is coming thrice a day and they utilizes all the grazing element. Okay, so what will happen? Soil erosion will take place. Clear? And you are not using the scientific methods of farming. There are different types of farming methods which you can use to improve the fertility of the soil, as well as it will improve the production. So students, in order to protect the soil erosion, we need to do many things, such as we need to stop deforestation, and we need to focus more on afforestation. Afforestation means planting more and more trees so that we can conserve the soil. Clear? And tree should be planted in a short distance. We need to stop overgrazing. There are different methods by which you can improve your crop production as well as you can maintain the soil fertility. So these methods, such as the crop rotation, means suppose this year you are growing the wheat and next year you will grow rice. What will happen? Wheat, the minerals required for the wheat you have taken, but it still have the minerals which are needed to grow rice. So what will happen? When the next year when you will grow rice, you will take all the minerals which are required to grow the rice, but in this year the minerals which are required for the wheat will accumulate, and the next year it contain all the minerals required to grow wheat, then you can grow wheat. So this is crop rotation. Clear? Next method is strip cropping. So what is strip cropping? Suppose this is your land, and in this part you are growing wheat, and then you are leaving some part as the blank, and then again you are growing rice. In this part you are growing rice, then again you left some part as a blank, and you grow maize. Clear? So this is strip cropping. Next is terrace and counter burning. What will happen in this? There is something like the stairs, in better way I can make it. This is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, means along the slope we are growing the plant. This is known as terrace and counter burning. Okay students, so we have completed our soil. Okay, so I am ending this lecture. If anyone looking for online classes, they can contact RBI classes on 8583905853. WhatsApp only. We provide online classes for class 6 to 10. Okay, thank you.